Winter in Chicago's South Side felt endless. Cold winds cut through the streets, and the sky stayed gray for days. But inside a small, worn house, there was always a rhythm, soft, invisible, but constant. Danny could hear it. It lived inside his head. Tap, 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 tap. He tapped it on desks in class, on the dinner table, on his knees when he couldn't sleep. Rhythm came to him as naturally as breathing. "You've got a gift," his music teacher once told him. "If you take it seriously, you could go far." Danny believed it, but belief was easy. Doing the work was not. He had a habit, a quiet one, that slowly destroyed everything he started. He quit. Not all at once, not dramatically, just slowly, quietly, over time. In 4th grade, he wanted to be an artist. He drew for 3 days, then stopped. In 6th grade, he loved skateboarding. One fall, one scrape, and he never touched the board again. Last year, he joined the school jazz band. For 2 weeks, he was early. By the 3rd week, he was late. By the 4th, he was gone. Too early, he said. 7 in the morning is crazy, so instead, he stayed up late playing games. Woke up late, practiced a little, just enough to feel like he tried, but not enough to grow. His drumsticks collected dust. His dreams slowly faded into excuses. His mother never yelled. She worked too much for that. Every morning, she left at 4 a.m. for her job at the nursing home. After that, she worked at a restaurant. When she came home late at night, the house was quiet except for the sound of Danny's video games. Sometimes, she stood outside his door. She didn't knock. She just listened. Then she walked away. One afternoon, everything changed. Danny came home and stopped in the doorway. There, in the living room, sat an old drum set. It wasn't new. The cymbals were worn. The drum heads were scratched. But it was clean, carefully cleaned. Next to it was a note. "You said you wanted to play." Danny stared at the words. He didn't even remember saying it. Maybe it was one of those late-night moments when dreams felt real, but effort felt far away. But his mother remembered. He sat down, picked up the sticks. His hands felt strange, but also right. He played a simple beat. It wasn't perfect, but it was something. That night, he didn't turn on his console. The next day, he played again, and the next. And the next. But on the 4th day, he didn't. He slept in. His friends invited him out. "I'll do it tomorrow," he said. Tomorrow came, then another tomorrow. Soon, the drum set became part of the room, not part of his life. His mother still said nothing, but when she walked past it, her steps slowed just a little. Then one evening, Danny walked in and saw something unexpected. His mother was sitting on the couch. Next to her was a man. Older. Quiet. Strong. "This is your Uncle Alan," she said. Danny froze. He knew the name. A drummer. A real one. Someone who had played on stages, in clubs, in cities far away. Someone who had once lived the dream Danny talked about. "Play something," Uncle Alan said. No smile. No warmth. Just calm certainty. Danny sat down and played. His rhythm was uneven. His timing slipped. Halfway through, he lost the beat. He stopped. Silence filled the room. "You've got talent," Uncle Alan said finally. Danny felt a small hope. Then, "But you have a problem." Danny looked down. "You don't trust time." He didn't understand. Uncle Alan reached into his bag and placed something on the table. A metronome. "You know what this does?" "It keeps time," Danny said. Uncle Alan nodded. "It doesn't stop when you're tired. It doesn't care if you feel lazy. It doesn't reward you. It doesn't punish you." He turned it on. Tick, tick, tick. It just keeps going. He placed it next to the drum set. "Every day, after school, you sit here. You turn this on, and you play with it." Danny waited. For how long? 10 minutes. Danny blinked. "That's it? That's it. For how many days?" 30. No skipping. Danny almost laughed. 10 minutes. That sounded easy. But he didn't know yet that this would be the hardest thing he'd ever do. Day 1. He played for 10 minutes. Boring. Simple. Done. Day to. Same thing. Day 3. Still easy. Then came day 4. He forgot. His friends invited him out. He went. He came back late. "I'll make it up tomorrow," he thought. But the next day Uncle Alan was waiting. "You didn't practice." Danny looked down. "I forgot." Uncle Alan didn't get angry. He simply walked to the metronome, turned it on. Tick, tick, tick. "This doesn't forget," he said. Then he looked at Danny. "You don't need to remember. You need to become someone who shows up." He paused. "Start over. That word hit harder than any punishment. Start over. Day 1 again. This time, Danny went straight home. He sat down. Turned on the metronome. Played. 10 minutes. Then, he kept going. Another 10. Another. That day, he practiced for an hour. Not because he had to, but because something inside him changed. Day 10. His friends called. Come out. He hesitated. He could go. Practice later, right? But then he remembered his mother, standing outside his door. He remembered the drum set, waiting. He said no, sat down. Tick, tick, tick. Day 20. Uncle Alan sat beside him, said, nothing. Just listen. Danny played. This time, his rhythm was steady, cleaner. Stronger. For the first time, it felt like music. Uncle Alan gave a small nod. That meant everything. Day 25. Something strange happened. Danny started looking forward to practice, not because it was fun, but because it felt right. The metronome was no longer annoying. It was steady, reliable, like a quiet friend. Then day 30. Danny played his 10 minutes. Stop. Uncle Alan asked, what did you learn? Danny thought, to practice every day. Uncle Alan shook his head. You learned to show up. He pointed to the metronome. This won't make you great. Then he looked directly at Danny. But it will make sure you don't disappear. Silence. Tick. 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 6 months later. Danny sat behind the drum set in his school jazz band. He wasn't the best, but he was consistent. Reliable. Present. He practiced every day. Not perfectly, but daily. His teacher said, you've changed. Danny smiled, because he knew the truth. It wasn't his talent. It wasn't his skill. It was something simpler. He showed up. Every day. And every morning, before leaving the house, he did one thing. He turned on the metronome. Listen. Tick, tick, tick. Not to check if it worked, but to remind himself he did.